Hello grade 7, welcome to Using Ratio to Solve Problems video. In this video, you're going to review a strategy in finding a missing value and the strategy is using cross multiplication. You're also going to use ratio to solve problems. Okay, so first, let's have an example once again, of how to use cross multiplication in ratio to find the missing value. So given an equation A over 3.5 is equal to 2 out of 5 or 2 divided by 5. Let's draw that cross. There you go. And then the other one. Okay, so from 5 we go A times 5. So you have 5A. And then at the other side, on this side, so you multiply these two crossing out. So you have 2 times 3.5. Let's simplify. 5a, 2 times 3.5 is 7. And then divide both sides by 5 by the number beside your variable, which is your coefficient. So divide 5 by both sides, on both sides. So you will end up with a is equal to 7 out of 5, or 7 divided by 5. Now, using division, okay, 7 divided by 5, it will give you 1.4. So A is equal to 1.4. Now what I would like you to do is do this in your notebook until you know the process. Okay. On the next slide, I would like you to practice what you know. Practice the procedure. It might be easy for you to do it, but I would like you to use the procedure and make sure that you know it. Okay, just to be clear, this in letter D, this one is not 5.6. This is 5 times 6. Okay. And then y is to 4 is y out of 4. Okay. So stop the video, solve all the problems from A to H, and we'll check it later. Okay, once you are done solving them, continue with the video. Okay, so let's now have problem solving. A woman mixes sand and cement in the ratio 5:2 by volume. If she uses 5 buckets of cement, how much sand should she use? Okay, so I'm going to give you two methods. For method 1, it's making sense of it. So we know that our ratio 5:2 is sand is to cement. So if for your sand, there's going to be, for 5 buckets of sand, there should be 2 buckets of cement. To find out how much sand we should use for 5 buckets of cement, what we can do is find out how much sand are there in one cement. So for equivalent ratio, if there's 1 bucket of cement, there should be 2.5 buckets of sand. How do we know that? Okay, for 2, we wanted to make it 1, and to be able to make it 1, we can divide it by 2. You can only use division or multiplication. Okay, so the aim is to get a 1. So if we divide it by itself, we will get 1. Remember that what you do to this side, you should also do it to the other side. So if we divide 2 by 2, we should also divide 5 by 2. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. That's how we got 2.5. Now we know that for 1 bucket of cement, there are 2.5 buckets of sand. But what we want to find out is 5 buckets of cement. So to get 5 buckets of cement, there are actually 12.5. So how do we get that? Okay, to get 5 from 1, we can multiply it by 5, so we get 5. That means if you multiply this side by 5, you're going to multiply this by 5 as well. So 2.5 then times 5 is 12.5. Okay, well done. That's the first method. So therefore, for 5 buckets of cement, you need 12.5 buckets of sand. On the other hand, you can also use in method 2, you can actually use a cross multiplication. Okay, so 5 is to 2. This is sand over cement. So we know because 5 to to sand and cement is to 2. Make sure that you're always lining it up. Yeah. Okay. So then we know that we want 5 over 2. We're missing how much is the sand is what we are looking for. So that's our x. And we know that we want to find out the cement, 5 buckets. Yeah. And use cross multiplication, the one that you learned a while ago. And from there, you will have 5 over 2 times 5, and you will get 12.5. Okay, 12.5 buckets. Another example. A recipe that serves 4 people uses 5 potatoes. How many potatoes are needed to serve 28 people? Okay, so let's write it out. Number 1, let x be the number of potatoes. The number of potatoes is your missing number. And we are looking for serving 28 people. Okay, so we're going to use equivalent ratio, number of people and number of potatoes. So on top are the number of people. If there are 4 people, you need 5 potatoes. If there are 28 people, we don't know how many potatoes. From here, you can right away use cross multiplication that you already know. Yeah. So cross multiply, you will end up with 4x is equal to 5 times 28. 4x is equal to 140. Divide both sides by 4. You will get 35 potatoes. So for 28 people, you can serve, you need 35 potatoes. Okay. Now, if this is confusing, you need to watch this video again and start writing down notes. Solve it on your own as well. Okay. So following this are independent practices. It's a long one, but I would like you to solve everything. Okay? This is it for now. Bye, grade 7.